Sure. King Green
Yes,
here. Torre.
yes,
Curtis in
yes.
this mud. Rap Latte.
He
We
was.
live.
He left. He
He,
left.
he back.
He got
He back.
ganked. He got ganked. He had to go.
Oh,
Oh,
my
let
Them
me play
boys
internet.
his
ran up
intro
on him. He
sound.
had to go.
I hate that sound. That sounds
You said it. You said that sound racist, and that's a
sounds so
perfect
racist.
segue
So
to the
racist.
first topic, which is your boy Rory.
Who's
Your boy.
Ooh,
He's your boy?
ooh,
Your boy. That's Torre's
ooh.
boy.
Oh, that's your
Yeah,
man's?
right.
This
Yeah,
your man's?
right.
Anyway,
Why has he been allowed to be at this virtual cookout this long? Why did do who gives a shit about his opinion on anything to much less get to the point where, well, in the past you said some racist shit. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, this is the whole thing about this whole video when we're talking about the state of the culture is that shit is so fragmented and weird. And the way that the internet is and how it started is first person there is like early bird gets the worm. So these are the people who the Joe Button podcast is the first. It's the first of its kind, and he was a part of that, and that's what created that persona for him. Now, the real thing that I have that I just think was dumb is how he responded to backlash. People did not know what those tweets were, what the retweets meant, and supposedly it was. I remember this time period where people would retweet something at somebody like Curtis King and then say a bunch of things like he said it, but he didn't really say that, trying to make the other person look crazy. Whatever. The real point is someone calling you out and being like, "Yo, what was that about?" And you being like, "Niggas," basically like, I ain't gotta answer this shit. Niggas know who I am.
can we see
That's
exactly
crazy.
what he said? Can you throw it up? What he said?
I'll find it. Y'all talk while I find it real quick because I didn't put up the tease.
Yeah, I think in hip hop at times, I think we're getting a lot better about it now, but I think we have a really bad habit of treating guests. It's our loving nature of black folks in general, but we got a really bad habit of treating strangers with a lot more respect than folks who've been in the house for a long time, the elder statesmen. We have a really weird thing where it's like when we identify that, oh, you could dance like us, oh, you
Oh,
understand nuance, oh, you part of a black
Yeah.
comfortable. Did you lose me? Am I still here?
yeah.
I lost you for a second, but we hear you now.
But yeah, but you get I think you get folks who, because your inner circle tells you this, like jokes around you in a certain way, you yourself as a stranger get a level of comfortability where you're like, I wish you would say something. Look at who I dated. Look at who I'm a part of. Look at the groups I'm around.
Look at who I dated. It's crazy.
I don't
Let me postpone the
appreciate
conversation.
the thing, in maybe I'm curious to if you share this in your experience that most of the white guys who want to be down, who want to be part of this culture, are like super respectful because they understand, like, I know I'm not like on my home turf, so let me fucking be chill. It's it's not it's not like they're sliding in the hip hop club because they want to say the N-word. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's a person who, what he seems like, that he's down with the culture. Apparently somebody said that he had a black baby mother or something, but still might say some wild shit about black people or black women. Like, I don't know, this seems very rare.
I don't know if this is rare at all. I want to say that, and just because you will date somebody of another race or ethnic group
Of
doesn't
course.
mean that. Yeah, no, I'm saying
Of
I think that's
course.
important to say though out loud, even in this, even though we all know this, the three of us. I'm saying it's
The
important.
people who put in a lot of time in the culture in the way that he has, not saying he's been great at it, but like he's been in it.
Yeah.
I generally find they tend to want to respect the culture.
I agree that usually you think about everybody who's been in the culture, the culture before, is that they presented themselves in that way most of the time. But think about the whole tripe of someone coming in the culture and then going full white, right? Going full country. They come in, absorb what they can, whatever fame they can, because like Curtis said, we're gonna champion somebody. It's like, oh, look at him, who's not like us, doing what we do. Look at that, and then go where they need to go to try to get that type of larger exposure, mainstream fan base or whatever. That's the same thing that happens all the time. So it's like you got to be weary of those things. But we can look at the tweets right now and see what he actually said.
Let's look at what he actually said.
Curtis, he looked frozen as a mug. All right. So this is.
I don't appreciate any woman with poetic justice braids telling me what I can and cannot do.
2011's.
Save that white boy fantasy for someone else. I'm not cutting any weave out of your hair. Go on. What else? I can't read that.
This sounds like somebody who basically thinks they black.
So white people
like they could say this.
Like, I wish you would call me out. Do you know who I'm friends with?
You know what I'm saying?
It's that person that'll be like, come on, bro. Like, my ex-girl's black. Like, come on, bro. Like, really?
You know what I've done? You know what I've done for the culture?
Do you know what fraternity I'm part of? Do you really want to do this?
Is he saying he didn't say these things, or is he like conceding that he did say these things?
He said all of it.
I think he said all of it. I think he tried to give it a different context and say, well, you don't really understand the context type shit. And I'll be like, whatever, bro.
Like, it's not like virulent racism. It's just like light white superiority. You know what I mean? Like, look, if you have braids, you just can't tell me what to do, right? Like I'm not taking a weave out of your hair. So it's just like a Heisman stiff arm of like superiority. I'm like, wow. And like I could believe like a younger white man like really feeling like that and feeling the bravado of coming on the internet and fucking saying that shit. And if I wasn't mistaken, all those were anti-black female, right? Like they all tied to black, like two of them were about black women's hair.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask y'all a question?
Was the other one?
Can I ask you a question about that term you just used, Torre? What is the difference between anti-black and racist?
He's glitching too, Green. Are y'all both? Is it me or is it both of y'all? Or
he didn't glitch for me at all, just right now. On my end.
Am I good?
Yeah, you see, yeah, just talk. Let's see.
What is the difference between anti-black, in your opinion, and racist?
Well, I say anti-black to be specific about the sort of racism as opposed to, racism in general. Generally, when we are talking about racism, we mean anti-black racism.
Right.
But just to be specific about what we're talking about. Because he's not really saying anything that's really racist. It's
definitely anti-black though.
It's more, but it's
that's what I mean. What is that?
Black.
Because I see people categorizing like that.
He's put. It feels like he got dumped by a black girl, and he was spewing off some steam and reasserting his superiority as a white, like it's like, at least I still hit, like, well, at least I'm still white. Like, that's my trump card. Like, at the end of the day, I'm still white and you're not. So, and it's anti-black because they are calling out and downgrading an element of blackness. The weave is what makes her, I'm not going to take shit from you. You have a weave, like, poetic justice, like,
and not trying to shoot him any bail either. Do you think it's something that maybe he was repeating, that he was around other people who were saying it, and maybe he felt more inclusive by repeating these things?
I mean, I do
First of
think
all, black
that
people would be anti-black all the damn time because anti-black, like he said, is specific to the hatred, the fear, and discrimination of black people. Well, racist, you could be racist to anybody. Like you could be, well, not exactly, but you could be racist to an Asian person. You could
yeah,
be racist to so
yeah,
many people. So you
yeah.
can't. That's why we're saying anti-black. And then there's anti-black rhetoric and stereotypes. You know what I'm saying? Saying like this means all black people. So he's projecting, look at that weave in your hair. What's negative about that? Having a weave is now a negative thing. That means that anything you do as a black person is negative. That's anti-black. You see what I'm saying?
So it's more overt, basically.
No, it's specific.
It's
Not
specific.
so much
Okay.
overt. It's specific to blackness. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yeah. Each of them is aiming his ire at a specific totem of blackness and black femaleness, right? It was the
Yeah.
weave, it was the poetic justice braids, and what you asked, did he get this from other people? I would imagine, knowing his whiteness and guessing at the level of cultural competence that this individual is able to acquire,
Mhm.
he surely heard these things from other people or gleaned like half of that notion from another person, and then is repeating it and not fully even grasping what, because like a black person
Mm.
could say the poetic justice line and it would be funny. I could see a Cat Williams or a Martin Lawrence back in the day, D.L. Hughley, like saying it with the right tone and it's funny. But
Mhm.
when he says it out of context as a white boy, it sounds kind of hateful. And like, why are you,
Yeah.
why is that she's wearing poetic justice braids, which are actually really beautiful? Janet Jackson looked amazing, and the braids looked amazing and iconic in that movie. So calling that out shows you are misaligned with what we think is beautiful. Because I think most black men of that era and after were like, she looked amazing in that in that braids in that movie. So that's what you're calling out.
And
Like,
how could you ever feel that comfortable calling out? How could you in particular, right, as Rory, ever feel that comfortable being in a position to speak like that about
Niggas.
Yeah.
Niggas. Let's be real and talk. This is what I want to talk about. Niggas say shit about anti-black shit all the time. There's groups of niggas that hate black women all the time. So if you hang around a whole bunch of Kappas,
black men? You said black men?
I ain't gonna go at the Kappas, but you hang about a bunch of niggas who are being anti-black towards women. You're just regurgitating the shit that you hear from your niggas. That's it. That's what happens. And then you
are you talking?
Your niggas is crazy.
Hold on. Are you talking about? Are you talking about like black people who are genuinely anti-black toward others, like Candace Owens, or jokingly anti-black, where we know you're saying it like because you understand the culture, not denigrating the culture? Like
we're talking about,
or you mean like misogynist? They're being misogynist toward black women.
It's not being misogynist towards black women only. Because if you go to black women saying like your hair is nappy or you dusty because of,
I mean, what is the example you're talking about of black anti-blackness getting? Like,
yeah,
what is
misogynist
the thrust
towards
of black
black
anti-blackness
women
you're talking about?
I'm talking about misogynist towards black women, misogynoir towards black women, and saying that the things about you that I don't like are things that are black, and you get the stereotypical black things that are only about black women, and saying you don't like that. That exists within our culture. We can't act like people like black people don't hate themselves, even subconsciously or consciously sometimes.
It does. And I would look at that as a tragic example of internalized racism, and feel for the brother at like, you still haven't confronted the internalized racism in you enough to understand, like, at least don't say it. So you further hurt and traumatize the sisters who've heard that shit over and over and over. If that's how you feel, at least don't fucking verbalize it. Versus the white boy who's saying it as a weapon.
Yeah, because how do you internalize that? What is your relation to this? Not to cut you off, Tori, but how do you relate to this? And how do you internalize this? If you hear somebody else's, if I hear an Irish perspective about the way that they view women, I'm not going to internalize that because I'm hanging around you. I'm going to just identify that as, oh, that's the way that the communication goes with
But
some
you black.
segments of the group. I know better. But I'm just saying with him, what makes you so comfortable, even if you got all your folks around you telling you that you good, you got the card, you cool, what makes you so comfortable that you then take that out to a public forum?
Well, I want to look at it a little slightly differently. That
Right.
almost everybody is being sent the message that black women aren't shit, right?
Sure.
And it is landing in a lot of us. Some of us see it and fight it and push back on it. Some of us, don't agree with it, but that is the message that's going out. And some of us act on it, and some of those who act on it are black and some are white. And he's one of the white ones who acted on it. And I assure you that the vast majority of white men look down on black women as far as beauty. Not all. And there's some white men who like black women out of fetishization, which is also not about respecting or loving some sort of African
One battle
beauty.
after another. What's that guy's name?
Bob.
Lockjaw.
I remember Lockjaw. I remember I saw a TikTok where this beautiful Asian woman talked about going on a date with a white guy, and he was saying that an Asian 9 is equal to a white 6. So, just the white women just get a bonus from
That's so
just
crazy.
immediately off top.
That's
and she's
actually
like,
according
he's saying
to
this to me.
According to the statistics from dating apps and all that type of stuff, that's completely incorrect. But dating apps will reinforce the stereotypes that of black women being on the bottom, but Asian women being more picked and white men being more picked out of the different ethnic groups and races or whatever. When it comes to these dating apps, I wish I had the little fact check thing to pop up.
You know what I wish I had? You know what I wish I had? So you say there's those gentlemen who fetishize. I remember Pornhub put up one of those maps, and they show search engines by state. Black women, black women, black women, black
right?
women, black women, black women. Every single state dominated. I was like, that is so interesting.
It's a big fetish, but there's a difference between exactly. You're talking about the thing that you're fetishizing and you want to keep behind doors, closed doors, versus how you present in the outside.
I hear what you're saying. I've done some sociological research within dating, and of the major demographics that we could think of, man, woman, black, white, black women have sex less often by far than any other demographic.
Really?
Black men have sex more often than any other demographic.
That's interesting.
So they're not having all that sex with the black women.
Right.
When black women are being chosen for sex less and black men more.
Definitely need to do research. But either way, back on Rory. The whole Twitter, he goes to Twitter Spaces after. Back on Rory.
Did you get uncomfortable for a second? You all right? He said, back on Rory.
I was like, back on Rory, because I'm like, black women, black men have sex more.
You need to have these Pornhub stats. You need these.
I just don't know what are we talking about right now. Like black men, black women.
Curtis into Pornhub.
This is relevant.
Woo!
This is relevant.
We're on Pornhub. Okay.
What you say versus what you do. What you say versus what you do. They're not reflecting each other accurately.
Pornhub. Green, what you want to say about Grindr?
What'd you say? Oh, now you try to play with me on the internet right now?
What the Trumpy? What the Trumpy?
I'm sorry. That was a private conversation. I should have brought that up.
Ain't no private conversation between me and you. Ain't no private conversation.
That's my mistake. I shouldn't have repeated that. That was private. That was for off air. I apologize. That's my bad.
You know the names of the apps? The stats. Talk about black men's.
You know the stats.
Who made you go with that line? Who made you go with that line, Tori? Who made you go with that line? Huh?
Yeah. What you think about? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Funk Flex Push. Who made you go with that? What made you go with that bar?
Oh, Grinder's always the fucking punchline for all the comedians that just say Grinder instead of be like, boop, everyone's gonna laugh as soon as you say Grinder. Oh my god.
I know that's cap.
But wait a minute, Mal ain't shit. But if you're a black man, when you come to work sitting next to that nigga, that motherfucker, we just learned you just said a bunch of wild shit about black women on Twitter a long time ago. You got to say something. At least ask him to explain himself. We got to engage. Like, what about that part?
No, you know what's funny? I saw a clip of it might have been a few months ago or a year ago where Maul was having a conversation on a podcast, and he said, just like passingly, he was like, "I know Rory says some racist shit in private," and he's like, "I know he basically." And Roy was like, no, like, no. You probably got some stuff in your past. He's literally telling the future on accident. I wish I had that clip, but they popped up, and I'm like, this goes back also to and I don't want to put accountability to no other people because Rory is in charge of himself. But I do think we have a responsibility in these mixed circles to check your boy if he on Twitter acting like that, and you know he about to be around you for the rest of the week.
He has the same viewpoint.
No, but
he's more anti-black than Rory.
You see in that you see in that anecdote, you see in that anecdote that he's the type of nigga who lets his white friends say the N-word.
Well, he did on the podcast. You see that clip too? I'm not even. Did you see they found out that clip on they so you gotta stop messing with these Kendrick fans. The Kendricks died. You gotta stop messing with them. They found a video clip and slowed it down, and he was like, "Something, nigga." I was like, you wouldn't even hear it because he said it so fast, and it's on video. Like, what are y'all like when y'all not on this podcast? Because every time you put a podcast microphone in front of these folks' face too long, they end up showing themselves. They end up showing their ass.
But when do they say something that is interesting? Like, I can point to Budden saying interesting shit that I'm like, that's why we keep coming back to the show. And now Mark keeps killing it. There's constantly like interesting. There's others, the successful shows I can be like, that's why. I don't look at these two doofuses and I'm like, why the fuck is anybody listening to this shit?
We only talk about them when they say stupid shit. You notice that? That's the shit.
Us. But not just
I'm talking about at least my network of reaction videos and YouTube channels I watch. The only time you see them in a thumbnail is when Maul got some kind of ridiculous take about Kendrick or some ridiculous, prediction about Iceman, and it's just always something like that. And usually, what's interesting is Maul or Rory seems to be the voice of reason in these conversations, or at least more balanced.
Right.
Usually it is that. And that's how you know that man is like, I saw him talk to Rory about this whole situation. And he was basically saying, oh, anybody who's mad at you, they just want attention. And anybody saying that it's all the same talking points with these niggas, like they're just saying, oh, this is anti-black, but nobody's stopping you. This is the same thing as someone saying the white man's got his foot on my neck. I don't fuck with it. That's his perspective. He doesn't believe in white supremacy. He doesn't believe in racism. That's who that nigga is. So, and that's a lot of that. And that's what
said he don't believe in racism?
I'm putting that on him. I didn't hear him saying that shit. I said white supremacy because he just said it's the same thing as a black man saying the white man's got his foot on my neck. It's like, what are you even talking about right now? Like, why did you bring this up?
You better be in a lawsuit. You better say allegedly.
Allegedly. No, I just said that. This is my perspective.
You know they like to sue. You know they like to sue over there.
They be suing. I just said it's my perspective from what I've got, my perspective on where he's coming from. He could be whoever he wants to be. The point of the matter is, the reality is that this shit's fragmented. They are living in their own silo. We have our own silo. There's so many different silos at different levels, and they have an audience. There's hundreds or a few 100,000 subscribers who watch them all the time. They get their views. People fuck with this shit. Some people hating in the that last video, they got a lot of hate in the comments, but people literally fuck with this shit.
But you'd be like, why? They're not funny, and they're not smart, and they're not tough, and they're not breaking any news. What the fuck? Right. They're not informed. What are you like? generally you were watching because they're funny, because they're
They
informed,
consistent.
because they're breaking news, like they're tougher than you, like they know something you don't know. What is the hook? Why are we watching?
A bunch of anti-Joe Budden fans.
Exactly.
That's got to be a huge segment, because then it was like the whole, remember their whole redemption arc when they first released that they were going to do the podcast? You saw hordes of people who are already like on the fence about the Joe Budden podcast. Here goes your opportunity now to show up in numbers, and hey, let's have a few cool conversations along the way. Like, hey, we're still here.
When you got a popular show, you get fucking spinoffs. They a Joe Budden spinoff. It's like The Walking Dead and the kind of Walking Dead, Game of Thrones.
You shooting too high. You shooting way too high. You shooting way too high. I need some other sequels. I need some other shows that didn't work out that way.
I like that. Because what about this? If Budden is Breaking Bad, they're Better Call Saul.
That was amazing. Better Call Saul was amazing.
It's because you like the show.
It was fantastic. Matter of fact, some of the videography talent that wasn't in Breaking Bad became a part of that. That was an evolution. We need something else. Like, what was the spinoff of, like,
The Walking Dead had a bunch of spinoffs that are trash. What are we talking about?
Okay, I'll take that. Then I ain't
damn. This looking for the perfect analogy of I don't like the show. This makes sense.
I need it. You giving them too much credit. That's why I didn't like it.
Either way, Roy's on some bullshit. The niggas who came through supporting that nigga, Mal and otherwise, they also on some bullshit. End of that whole fucking discussion. Anybody got a conclusion for Rory? Say anything you need to say.
I think you gotta explain to us why you're in hip hop. Why are you in this fucking conversation? Why are you here? What is the point? If that's how you really feel, what does it even mean? What were you trying to express there? Can you not see the inherent white supremacy that runs through those notions of like, I'm superior to you because you're a black woman?
Can he also see how he made it worse in that Twitter space?
He apologized for that.
That half-ass apology. No matter what you say, it's not going to stop. Here's the thing that I think are so flawed about apologies after you get your ass handed to you by the internet. Like, how genuine are they? Or are they just, and they deleted his Twitter, so it's not like you try to face the music about all of that.
Right.
Like, we know what how genuine is it, first of all? And second of all, he was just as dismissive and just as arrogant about his place in culture in those spaces as he was in those tweets. So then the real question becomes, how much have you really evolved? And do you carry this sort of arrogance about your place in the culture to this day? Because now all of a sudden you're now a name and a staple within, folks who black folks within our culture of hip hop. You're now a name that people recognize and see, at least your contributions on Joe Budden podcast. And now on this one, you're still showing the same kind of arrogance. You're being dismissive of people who are like, these things really do bother me and affect me because I've supported your brand. I've gone to defend your brand. And for you to be dismissive in this environment, and then the next day you come back with a half-ass apology, like,
yeah,
what do you apologize for?
That's why I don't think it matters. Say it again.
Can we see the apology?
I mean, now you want me now?
You don't
gotta go look for
it. If you don't want to do it, it's fine.
Like, fuck that nigga apology. Honestly, fuck that nigga's apology. all he did is say, like you said, the difference between him, the only thing of the apology, he did his little apology, and the two coons that was with him on the channel go, oh shit, you can't say that, right?
Damn. Play your sound effect. Play your sound effect.
FD
play your sound effect now. I dare you. Play your sound effect now.
I'm gonna get to it. But anyways, what they said is basically absolving him of any like criticism of any of this situation, where even though what they said about Tyler the Creator is saying like, oh, he was an edgelord and all this type of shit, he got to talk about it, whereas Tyler the Creator actually changed his actions and who he was. And like you said, we haven't seen anything different from Roy.
Can we not analogize? I'm trying to edge it away from that pause, but like, can we not analogize a black man's behavior and a white man's behavior. A black man saying anti-black things is not the same thing as a
No.
white man saying anti-black things.
This is
So
that has nothing to do. But I'm not comparing what he said to what Rory said. I'm saying that those guys compared what Rory said to Tyler the Creator, and then had a whole different other perspective on a black man. That's my point. How the fuck are you going to talk about Tyler the Creator and say that he should do this and that and that? Then your white nigga who's right here, you're like, yo, come on, y'all know what it is.
You got to stop saying white nigga.
Y'all know what it is.
He said that white man had niggas. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Anyway,
off cone and everything today. You all right today, Green?
That's what we really have no use for you when you're a white nigga. That's what we really are done.
Oh gosh!
That's
all
the
right,
last fucking stomp of the fuck beat down.
Right. Let's move this on because we're talking about the whole state of the culture. Let's go to another person, which kind of feeds into this whole fragmented hip hop concept. Your boy, this is Touré's boy again, BigXthaPlug. You the one that put me onto his song.
Song's hot as hell.
What did he? Oh no, actually, I don't even have the clip. This is him. Obviously, you know, he's making a video with Post Malone. All right, car moves. And we all know Post Malone. We know where BigXthaPlug has gone. He's the first black hip hop artist to do what all these other white rappers have done, is come into the culture, get that credit, go country. Let's go full white. And he said, the headline, what he said is that he's trying to be bigger than hip hop. Bigger than hip hop. What does that mean, Touré, to you, your boy?
I don't know what bigger than hip hop means. I don't know what that would be. I'm trying to think if there's anybody who I think of as bigger than hip hop. And I mean, Tupac comes to mind, but then he is still inexplicably tied to hip hop. Like when we say like Muhammad Ali is bigger than boxing, it's because you don't need to know anything about his boxing career to think of him as this epic person, you know, or, you know, that you did something bigger. You don't, Jackie Robinson's bigger than baseball because it's this whole, you know, struggle within, you know, with racism and segregation. Like you don't have to know anything about baseball to understand that. So I don't know.
I think he's doing it in a way of like, if you think about Jay-Z or OJ, the story of OJ is like, I'm not black, I'm OJ. He's doing it in that way. I perceived it in that way. It's like, I don't want to be with them niggas and on that nigga shit. I'm over here.
I mean, I got full context here too.
It's. I mean, I get. Maybe I'm taking it too sensitive. Maybe he wants to be. If he said he wanted to be more than hip hop, so I don't want to be just hip hop. Fine.
That's fine.
You know, I feel a little threatened when he's like, I'm going to be bigger than hip hop. He doesn't mean Tupac. He means I want to be broader. I can do anything.
Yeah, the context of the conversation came from a New York Times interview where they were basically making reference to his fan base in rap, and he was talking about how he gets so much love in the country audience, doing the kind of music he does. But it says here on Twitter that a resurfaced interview clip, he stated, "I'm not just a hip hop artist. I'm just an artist," and that's what prompted.
That's fine.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I don't have a problem with that. I thought he was saying,
but the implication here is that he's saying that artistry starts after hip hop, and that you can't be the artist within hip hop. Being a hip hop artist, being hip hop is not an artist, is what the implication here is.
I read that. I read that as a lot of artists in my experience don't think about genre. They just think about making art. I'm just making the music that moves me, that I feel right now. You can put it in a box, but like I'm not doing that. So I'm like, no, I'm not just hip hop. I'm
But
a
what does
music
that mean
maker.
though? Can we stop right when you said that?
Let me
Like, what is I'm not just hip hop mean,
let,
and what does the rest of the world offer that you cannot do within hip hop or the confines of hip hop?
let me explain that in my perspective on that, which why I'm okay with it, is because language does matter, but we use it in different ways. Not everybody uses hip hop in the context of it being an artistic lens. So you can be a hip hop artist and do anything in the world. You make clothes. Tyler's a hip hop artist and he does everything and anything, correct? That's the artistic lens that you come from, which is hip hop. Just like someone might be a cubist, surrealist, postmodern. You're coming from a certain lens, artistic lens. That's what you're saying. Culture and artistic lens. I think he's expressing it as genre, hip hop genre, because some people think about hip hop as a genre, and they even cap hip hop as like shit that we're into, boom bap, shit that was 2000s. And once trap start, a lot of niggas don't call that shit hip hop.
So my question is, why don't we hear the inverse or hear the same thing for other genres? Why don't you hear a band say, I'm not just rock?
Happens all the time, bro.
When is that? What the cultural implications that go along with saying that in hip hop, and especially after the other clip we're going to talk about today, where we're talking about the way that hip hop gets disrespected by its own artists at times, by the people who profit off it at times. But I think there's a connotation, and it's funny because Post Malone said something similar. He was saying that he felt restricted within hip hop in terms of what he's allowed to write about, and that he's not able to go deeper lyrically within hip hop. Not saying him personally, just saying the art itself won't allow for such deep thought. And he said that after he went to country. And then this is the artist that he's now collaborating with. BigXthaPlug is now collaborating with him. I look at that and I'm like, you're saying the thing without saying the thing. And what I'm hearing is that you're saying that hip hop was cool as a lick, and it's cool that I was able to get some fans who looked at my image, shirtless with the chain on, having a certain drawl in my in the way that I'm doing these rap songs. I'm cool that y'all like that, but I'm shooting over here. Good looking out. Now I'm over here. That's the way it looks like. And then you shit on the welcome rug on the way out. It just happens to be that this is being delivered by a black man this time and not Post Malone and
technically Kanye, Tyler have said this before in off ways, but one thing that Tyler did later on is that he said that he embraced being a rapper, especially right that whole run with the mixtape album, the Call Me If You Get Lost and all that stuff like that. People were saying like, oh, you're an artist that does this, that, and that. He goes, I'm a rapper and I love being a rapper, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying, because hip hop is a culture and an artistic lens, as well as a name of a genre when it comes to this categorization that we didn't even give it, right? It gets misconstrued sometimes. So I give people a leeway on certain ways of how they may see it, but I agree with your whole perspective that, what do you mean you're bigger in hip hop when you are hip hop? You know what I'm saying? Like, but we had a back and forth, me and you, Curtis, what I'm talking about is Love Below a hip hop album, is what's it called, Miseducation, and all these other albums where rappers start doing something else. Whereas I see it as that's a hip hop album because an hip hop artist made it. That's my perspective. But someone might be like, that's not that because he just made a rock or country project.
You know what's crazy about that? I agree with you now today more than I agree with you that day, because I didn't realize that subconsciously, because of the way that these conversations go about hip hop, and even as a hip hop artist myself, as a hip hop fan, as somebody who's been a part of this culture for 20 years plus, I'll still say things and not realize like I'm low key kind of like disrespecting it. And so what my intent was when I said Love Below should be categorized as a funk album, was saying that I think some people look at it and say it's only hip hop. But by me acknowledging that, I'm saying the same thing as them. Like, no, this is funk. This is R&B. This is what hip hop can be in its many forms, from a branding standpoint, from a sonic standpoint. All this, like, hip hop is endless. But I think the people who speak like this are speaking to white reporters. They're speaking to white audiences. I don't think this message was ever for us. When he says I'm big. I'm not just a hip hop artist. I think he knows
I hear
very
that.
specifically who he's talking to.
I agree with that because they speak in genre and they're speaking in that space. So I agree with you that he is basically code switching, right? You're almost code switching to communicate to this space in this way, saying like, "Oh no, I'm not like them other niggas over there. I actually could do other things too. I'm doing something different." When from our lens, from my lens, it's like, "Nigga, you a rapper." You like plain and simple, and we have proved over and over again what hip hop is. It's genreless, it's boundless, and it can incorporate anything because it's a artistic lens and it's a culture, not just a musical sound.
Yeah, and when you think about from Tyler to Travis to Future to Kanye, there's an almost infinite infinite number of shapes that hip hop can take on. So I'm not sure what you artistically need to go to country to achieve that you couldn't achieve here, which is kind of what you're saying. If
So many niggas
you,
here. I'm trying to go to
yeah,
the mic.
if you have an artistic desire, I want to make something that sounds a little bit more like this, you can do that within hip hop. If you want to add the overt tropes of country, we are probably not going to like it. And of course, as a Southern artist, he is aware I might be able to get more over there than over here because there's more people over there because this shit is not charting and that shit is charting. I'm not
I ain't mad
sure
at him.
he may find out, like, you talked about OJ before, that like, they'll never love you. They're not gonna accept you. Like they don't think of you as one of them. Like you could theoretically, and I guess Lil Nas X did this, come from country and come into hip hop and we rock with you. I don't think it goes the other way. I don't think they have an open door policy open. So good luck with that.
Well, my question is, if that's what you wanted to do, then why don't you go the Shabuzi route? Why don't you start and very blatantly say this is what I am doing, even though he blended a very like
Shabuzi's the same thing to me. That shit's hip hop to me.
Well, I mean, but I'm saying in
totally
terms of where you
hip-hop.
saw
It's
him
totally
showing up.
hip-hop, but it's countryfied hip-hop.
Yeah,
right?
But it started that way is what I'm saying. When I heard him, I heard he sound like a Dallas rapper. Like he sound like somebody from Dallas that is
Shabuzi. I feel you,
Dallas.
but Shabuzi's from Fairfax, Virginia, right over there where I'm from. And what I want to say is that he wasn't like that before. The nigga had trap music, all that type of stuff. So he's the same exact thing. Shabuzi just literally did everything unscathed. Somehow, no criticism. Nobody knows because he wasn't like huge, but he had success in the music industry rapping.
He was a straight ahead rapper.
Yes.
He was a straight ahead rapper. Yeah.
Yeah. He was a rapper. Yeah. Did you hear me? Yeah. He's a straight ahead rapper. He was on a song with straight ahead rapper, but he was alternative too. Like he would make different types of songs. Great artist in general, right? But he was hip hop, trap songs and everything. If you listen to his album, he still has that cadence. Even the second verse on that big song, his big song,
it's very glitchy.
Star song. It's very syncopated and wrapped up.
Well, it's from Jaquan's song "Tipsy," right? Which is coded with clips grinding. Shout out to Jermaine Dupri.
It's Virginia.
No, the hell, no. It started off as Virginia, where Jermaine Dupri took it.
His music does. I mean, it's nearly impossible to say. It's clearly hip hop. And yet at the same time, there's clearly country music tropes, right? Like within the sound of it that makes it clear to me, oh, we're doing a hip hop country collab or smush. And I mean, Walker's generally, yeah. Like Walk This Way was clearly both at the same time. Music is it's so attached to your personal feelings, and I only lived in the South for 3 years. Nothing. I mean, I don't know. Just country music just maybe it's epigenetic and it's like my ancestors coming through me, but the country music, I just start to tense up and get like, you know what? Maybe we should go. You know, once the banjos start going and it gets real country, I'm like, maybe we should go because this is not really for us. And even a black, you know, and start to do the whoop-de holler
Banjo's a
and
black
shit.
instrument.
What I say, it started with us, but where it went to them.
I understand where it started, but you know, 90% of the time when you hear a banjo, what you about to get, either country music or Stevie Wonder. Most black artists don't really care about a banjo right now. And I don't know, just something about country just makes me like stiffen up, like, oh, maybe we're in the wrong place.
There's different types of country, so it's like when I think about the entire genre, I can't be like, and it's like I fuck with so many different things. Ray Charles made a country album. I fuck with Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton got hits. So it's like, what are we? It's like when you break something down, like you said, artists don't think about things in such a finite genre. But that whole South perspective you said is very interesting, which brings me to this clip that I think Curtis shared.
Can I say one more thing about that though? I do think it's very strategic for them to say blatantly in some interview, I am more than a hip hop artist. I think that's very blatant because you don't, if you're a genre bender, you don't got to say that. Like I don't, there's certain artists who embody that. I think to say that is a clear distinction to everybody. Like, yeah, I might have done songs with Offset. I might have done songs with Maxo Cream and NLE Chopper and the rest, but don't get it twisted. I'm over here with these folks.
That's because hip hop got a stench on it right now. In the industry, it's got a whole stench on it. When people think about marketing and all that
part.
Yeah. When people think about marketing, I was just listening to a marketer and we're doing like this tour or whatever. And I'm listening to this marketer who did real crazy good job marketing stuff. And he started his page. He was like, R&B is popping now. It's increasing because people love black music. That never goes away, right? So that's increasing more. And in marketing wise, on Instagram, TikTok, and all that. And then hip hop, the only place that it's actually growing, guess what place in social media platforms growing hip hop the most? Twitter.
TikTok.
That's the place where you see more of the spikes of like the traditional hip hop that we're like talking about. A little trap song or pop song here is going to pop off anywhere, right? Anything that's popular like Gunna or some shit like that. But you're saying TikTok almost hates the genre of hip hop. Like musically, like the music videos and all that type of shit. So that's what's actually happening in the marketing space of the music. So if everyone's feeling this way or that's how it's being marketed, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm not this shit that's failing that nobody likes. I'm this other shit.
Right.
I just don't understand why there's a necessity. If you see a pile and heap of shit, why there's a necessity to throw yours on top of it and then walk past it and show, I'm not one of those.
I feel it. How
that changes anything. Like, and if you have my thing is, who's even saying he has a desire to change this around? I'm just saying you've shown that this is beneficial for you to be associated with in the beginning of your career. Now that you're talking to the New York Times, now that you're expanding, like you said, he was being played at the Cowboy Carter tour. Now, but even look at the way that she's being treated. She was told by, I forget who the gentleman was, a country legend or whatever, said, you know, before she could be accepted in the CMAs and be getting awards, she got to come, you know, break bread with us. Someone Beyonce. And I'm like, so what make y'all think that you could do that play, come into there, and all of a sudden they with open arms? I don't get what the purpose of blatantly saying that is, except for to continue to continue to tank its value.
Feel you on that. I want to segue to this other topic now of
this dumbass take.
This take right here. Let's listen to it.
They play some real New York like Rakim music. They gonna play Pop That Coochie before they play New York.
Yeah, I hope so.
They'll play Let Me Ride That Donkey before they play.
Yeah, I hope so.
New Yorkers got to learn to make music for people to party, not that junk. Nobody want to be thinking.
I ain't no joke.
No, I'm glad you said that because that had pissed me off. That's how I feel about when I listen to Kendrick.
No.
I'm telling you, you gotta
What are you
listen.
saying?
It's a message.
No, nobody
Bitch,
wanna
I don't
listen.
want no fucking message in a song.
When down south people started making good music, New York moved the goalpost. Well, y'all ain't saying nothing. Music wasn't meant to say nothing. Wop, babaloo, bam, wop, bam, boom. Nobody, you ain't supposed to just vibe.
Yikes.
That's why Future is king.
That's why he king, because he know how to make you do this.
Yeah.
Man, he ain't saying nothing.
Okay, I heard enough of these niggas.
Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse.
I know
It gets worse. Wait, it gets worse.
I mean, we can keep it going.
Wait, I want to hear it gets worse.
It gets worse.
I know that's the beauty.
That's the beauty.
That's the
Because I don't
beauty.
know what the hell was in.
It's how you say it.
It's
Music was
hard.
invented in
Shit
the
went
South
hard.
anyway.
I will say this. Jay-Z is my favorite rapper. But he knew
What?
how to go get Southern rappers and dumb it down too, though.
He had a
He
blend.
know he got to dumb it down.
Yeah. Big Pimpin', spinning, they're talking that shit. He talking about being with girls and shit. I don't want to hear all that KRS-One shit. You cross the bridge. You see, man, shut the fuck up. Got no damn bridge, nigga. We ain't got no bridge in Atlanta.
New York was always stupid for thinking that they word means something. Like, they really think that Biggie is the best rapper. They really think New York niggas is the best rapper. They don't realize they only think that.
So you believe Jay-Z a better rapper than Lil Wayne?
Easily.
That's my number one, Lil Wayne.
Say
Easily.
I'm gonna tell you something, home. If you go back and listen to that goddamn Rolodex on both artists, bro, Lil Wayne.
Wayne is that.
I got Tip over Lil Wayne.
You crazy.
What?
Okay. Okay.
Expeditiously?
All right.
Expeditiously?
Yeah,
P.I.?
okay.
What the hell is this?
Okay. Wow. So much. Actually, I want to note the first thing I want to note that a couple people touched on is the arrogance of the New York scene, both the MCs and the audience. That New York thought we were the best. We thought our shit did not stink. We thought we were smarter than the rest of the country, better read. We were gonna, dictate to the rest of the country what we thought about the world and da-da-da-da. And they were right, but that we thought our shit didn't stink. We created this. We're better at this than you are. And it's I definitely look at the history as we thought we were the shit, and then other places started making records, the West and the South, and they started selling more records than us. And it was like, what is going on? We are the best at this. And the country's like, yeah, but we would rather hear them. And we'd be like, but they don't have shit to say. Their records mean nothing. And it'd be like, that's what we want. We want to dance. We want to have a good time. And Puff and Biggie was the first time really that New York returned to like platinum heavy chart, because they were like, let's have a good time. Let's show them a party. So I mean, like I do respect the criticism of New York that is inherent within that. Now, when you go deeper into the criticism of intellectualism in hip hop, now I'm offended. Now I'm really fucking hurt. Because that shit is a really important part of fucking hip hop. What KRS and Rakim and our, really intelligent, intellectual MCs brought to the fucking culture. I know you don't want to hear it, country boy, when you're fucking dancing in the club and trying to fucking pick up a girl in your third fucking drink. But that's not all. Hip hop should not only be Little John. Hip hop should not only be whatever the fuck, you listen to with your fucking pickup truck. You know what I mean? Like, we should be able to continue to fucking be intellectual in this culture, because that is such an incredibly important part of hip hop.
The people they even enjoy are intellectuals. This is my problem. He said that Jay-Z was his favorite rapper, one. Then he says and says that he's better than Lil Wayne, and then says T.I. One says T.I. is better than Lil Wayne. All three of those rappers are very smart rappers. They are technically skilled rappers as well. All three of them. You are just saying shit because you have a microphone. That's what we're looking at here. And this is what I'm talking about. I want to talk about the fragmentation. It's like these dudes have some taste. They start talking. I don't want to hear all the shit. I want to fucking. Why would you say that? Because you read at a 5th grade level. If you read at a 5th grade level, I understand that you don't. He started talking about KRS-One too. Like, look at the gap between music. See, why are you talking about KRS-One and Future? Why are you comparing these things?
Why did you shoot straight to the 80s and the early 90s? Like, this hasn't been a...
What the fuck are we talking about?
I
think it's just utterly ridiculous.
He kind of he kind of proves KRS's point in that the bridge and the Bronx were an important part of the beginning of hip hop. And you don't know the history of hip hop if you think it started in the bridge and you're fucking stuck on the bridge. And Chris was like, I'm saying kill the bridge. It's all about the fucking Bronx. You don't even get the fucking history of the shit you're talking about.
And Outkast just got honored. And we know the branches of influence that Outkast has on some of the most intellectual rappers, one of them being Kendrick Lamar, who they mentioned in there. Here's my thing about this, too. I think this is such an old point of view that you usually get from industry heads in music, in that if you're not making music for the club or making music for going out and dancing type events, then there's not a purpose for your music existing in their world. My thing is this: how often do you go out? Do you think that artists should be dedicating 90% of their music to the 2 nights that you go out a week because you got a job and kids and other things like that? Then what do we do for the rest of the time that people go to gyms?
It doesn't even work.
People have their kids in the car. Like, what do we do for everything else?
You look at, but you know, I mean, I respect the person who says this is the place music has in my life to blow off steam and chill. I don't come to it for a TED talk or a college essay. A lot of people turn to television as the boob tube. Give me a stupid sitcom. Give me a reality show. I don't want to think that much. I don't watch those sort of things. You know, I watch, you know, more intelligent shows where I'm trying to learn something, right? Because I'm trying to learn as I'm fucking watching whatever. That's what I want to use that medium for. I don't think you're stupid or you're lesser because you prefer reality shows to watch television and shut off, or you use music to like shut off. I use music to intellectually turn up. I came up on Public Enemy and Poor Righteous Teachers and KRS-One and Rakim, and like I love that hip hop does that. No other music really does that to the extent that hip hop can. But if that's not what you want, because you read at a 5th grade level.
Well, my thing is, I'm okay with you having that difference in preference of using that media. My thing is, why are you so blatantly anti-intellectual? Like, why? Not even blatantly. Why are you so aggressively pushing against the existence, the relevancy, the importance, the cultural impact of these things? My thing is, I don't have to downplay Lil Jon in order to big up Jay-Z. I don't got to downplay any of these artists because they're all, in my opinion, when I'm looking at this as a hip hop lens, these are all part of the same culture that have contributed things in different spaces, different events and environments. But I think when I see that kind of level of aggression, I start to ask, yo, who's really planting these seeds? Is it investors behind your podcast? Is it you just echoing things that you hear other people saying? I start thinking about, you know me.
I love this nigga in his conspiracy theory.
I'm in my conspiracy bag, but let me put my full hat on.
Let's just keep it like this. These niggas survive off of chips, Pepsi, McDonald's fries. They don't like fucking broccoli. Nigga, if you've never had a vegetable in your life, you're going to have this type of perspective. These niggas don't fucking have a brain cell to understand things, so they just say wild shit because they don't. That's what they believe in. It's like that Michael Beasley shit where he was was it Beasley who said this shit about Kendrick. He's like, nobody listen to that nigga. #1 song in the country right now. Nobody listen to this nigga. It's like nigga on a tour. He in Germany, 60,000 people watching him. Ain't nobody listening to that shit. Nobody cutting on Kendrick.
So then tell me, what is the appeal? If you got, somebody said a taki only diet. If you got a taki only diet and you got you just getting things that are not brain foods, what makes an artist like a T.R. or Jay-Z appealing to you?
The beat. The song. And okay,
there's
most songs are attached to commercialism, like Yasin Bey said, like Mos Def said, where it's like that's the actual truth. Like we've been feeding, the music industry has been feeding the casual listener. The three of us are music fans. There's a whole section of music fans. These are people who still buy vinyl, people who go to concerts, and that's music fans. Now, casual listeners, that's just what they've been servicing since 1955, right? That's a whole different thing. Hey, this is what people could dance to. It's easy to understand. They just play it somewhere. Those things are not the same as actual art and music.
Why do dumb listeners make smart listeners suffer? Why
That's a great question.
do our favorite artists
There's
have
more
to
of
be?
them. Because there's more of them. Because there's
Yep.
more of them, and the
More casual.
corporation will always go after more of them, the larger number. So that there's always going to be like more fast food restaurants than fine dining restaurants because there's a greater chance of mass appeal. You remind me of when I was at Fuse and we talked about who is the ideal audience that we're going for. And it was like the top 40 casual. I don't think the word casual is in there, but the vibe was like people who kind of like what's on the top 40. And I would stand up in the town halls and be like, but you, in your analysis, there's another group of people who are hardcore music lovers who go out and search out music and want to be first day listeners and these sort of things. And like, why are we not focusing on people who live for music? Why are we focusing on people who don't live for music? And the corporation will always go for the larger potential group, even if the larger potential group is harder to get.
But look at how that's worked for them, especially the record business. Look at how that's worked for them financially, right? Just the state of how things are. You do things for the level. You do things for comfortability. For instance, streaming is what makes natural sense to push your artist through and find success for them because it's convenient for people to just pick it up, get a subscription, and listen to your music. You've done all these things, yet you've undercut the ability for not just your artists, forget your artists. You can't even make money off of these artists the way you used to because everything has been made for the convenience of a consumer that is going to be finicky by nature. I just don't understand how they're not seeing, the people who have these perspectives are not seeing the ones who are generating income are the ones who have more diverse products to offer outside of just ticket sales and merch and streaming. Like there's artists out here and there's a silent majority that I feel like are not being spoken for that show up in droves to support their favorite artists. It's just when I look at this, I'm just like, I hate it. I hate it here.
But they will be. They will be. There's a big decline in new music when it comes to streaming because of independent and different artists going straight to fans and building narrative and worlds around it. There's a big increase in the independent music and sales. So is it going to offset that? No, because you're talking about an industry that does 30 billion in a year and the independents are only like 700 million. You know what I'm saying? So
I wonder how
more artists are going to get more money.
I wonder how T.I. feels about that take. Because like what he said, like, we just want stuff to make you shake your ass and don't. I wonder how T.I. feel like that as he about to drop a 7-syllable word on his podcast coming back. Like, I wonder how he feels about expeditiously, super fragilistically.
It is interesting that Jay-Z can even reach that sort of a person. And I think that his approach to rhythm is so infectious that a person who doesn't want to dive deeper into the words, he'll be able to catch that person and catch me who wants to freaking dive into like, okay, where are all the triple entendres in this one? And and Kendrick would leave him feeling stupid, like, I don't understand what you're talking about. Jay-Z, he thinks he gets Jay-Z, he understands it enough, and he's happy. And then I'm like, yeah, but I can go read deeper into it and also be happy.
So I was gonna say, so is it like you have certain friend groups that you know that you go see you go see Marvel movies with? You got certain ones that you got that's like a very intellectual deep movie that has all kind of plot twists that they're gonna need an explanation. You just gotta separate these groups. Well, my thing is,
or the movie that would then be for both of those groups. What would that be? My cinema lovers and my, I just
like a Quentin Tarantino movie or like
that might be even too much. What, a comedy?
Well, I'm saying Kill Bill.
I don't know what it just the movie that overlaps two different, like I'm just saying like Jay-Z here clearly is overlapping two different groups because me and that man share nothing as far as what we value in hip hop, but Jay-Z has reached both of us. And we look at hip hop differently. and Jay-Z's reaching both of us. So that's Jay-Z's genius in being able to create music that is rhythmic enough for him to catch on to, and not so smart that he feels stupid. But then Jay's also like, okay, I know you need more, I need more, so I can friggin' embed that into the fucking text, and you'll be like, oh my God, he blew my mind. And he loves to tell you how smart he is. Oh my God. Did you see what I said? Did you see the triple entendre there? Did you catch how I rhymed it? He'll tell you. Some artists would never fucking. He'll tell you. Did you caught it? You caught it when I said better than it.
Right.
What?
This whole decoded book. I've been reading the decoded book. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's more of those lines like this is my train of thought here. I'm gonna challenge the one comedian who was talking about Jay-Z, his favorite rapper. Because if the first song that comes to mind that you mentioned is Big Pimpin', you're really a fan of UGK first and foremost. And second of all, there's not a bunch of Big Pimpins in this catalog of Jay-Z's. Like, I think that some people say this. I think they use, I'll give you a perfect analogy. Some people use rapper names like Jay-Z to show they have credibility in their hip hop opinion. Because they know across the board it's going to get people who are on that other side to be like, well, I mean, we can agree on something. It's like, remember we used to go through, you date the girl, and you used to go through her CDs, and it's like, you know, whatever, Vanilla Ice, somebody else. And it's like, Nas, what you doing with Illmatic in this collection? And all of a sudden she has more depth. I feel like that's what it is in this situation. It's like, he mentioned Jay-Z, so we can't be that off. I've challenged that shit. If the first song that comes to mind
all the damn time.
You are.
Well, he did talk about Jay doing records with Southern artists to dub it down. So I'm like, okay.
Then you're also saying Southern artists are inherently stupid. That's also fucked up. Now you're saying that Southern artists are inherently stupid when Outkast comes from the South, T.I. comes from the South, Lil Wayne, people who are great lyricists,
J. Cole, Rhapsody,
Scarface, J. Cole, Jid. So many people from the South make great music and intellectual music and dance music.
I'm guessing he's a Southerner, right?
He's from Atlanta.
Right. He doesn't seem West Coast to me, right? He seemed like a Southerner.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's definitely the stereotype that Southern hip hop was less intelligent,
which is stupid.
That is partly, I think, his internalized racism showing that he thinks the music of the niggas of his region is dumb.
That's what we went full circle right there.
They all in the room agreed with that, which is crazy.
Anti-black.
Oh my God.
Nobody batted an eye at that.
They all were like, yeah, Southern shit is dumb and we like dumb ass shit.
If I can't shake my ass to that, what kind of it ain't gonna use it.
The rejection, the almost anger of intellectualism in the music does bother me. If you're like, that's not for me, that's what we do in this culture. I just don't want that. I mean, imagine him talking about battle rapping that way. Like, we'd be like, what, you reject battle rapping? Like, you don't have to sit and listen to it if that's not your cup of tea. But don't fucking tell me like you hate that shit. Get that shit. Like, intellectualism has been part of hip hop since the beginning. Dance records have also been part of the music since the beginning. Battling has been part of the music. Don't freaking diss any of these strands of hip hop just because you don't like them.
Here's some pushback though, because there's a polar opposite example of him that happens to be a purist hip hop fan. The one that's like, I don't listen to that radio shit, even though none of us has really listened to radio in the last X amount of years. I don't listen to that mumble rap shit, even though the person's not really mumbling, they're just rapping over a trap beat. There's these inherent biases, and I think that that's what drives their opinions about music, or drives their opinions about what something is, because you can't put in the same category. Kendrick and KRS-One, even though it's under the umbrella of hip hop, are very, very different in what they offer. It's just like, what is it about it that you're really trying to point at? The example that I'm giving though is about
black niggas.
I'm not sure that they're very, very different. I mean, Kendrick is much more complex. Kendrick is more complex, but it's an entirely different era. But he's definitely one of KRS's. sons or grandsons, both doing, intellectual, community focused, pro black music. They both are calling out the specific evils, alcoholism, crack,
Mhm.
beef, the
A lot of overlap
police.
for sure. Yeah.
There's a lot of connection between what they are both doing.
I think
They're both
segmentized.
men of God, very
No,
Christian.
Yeah, well, you could make similarities through a lot of rappers, but we're
Like you're
thinking
writing
about
piece.
yes. But let me think about this in this way. I feel like we're like creating this idea of like intellectual hip hop and some other thing, and what I wanted to say that it's just all one thing, and then some people are fucking stupid. That like that, and and some people may be a little. It's not as this is this type of section and these type of artists are that and this type of artist is this. 8 Ball and MJG could make something a profound song. So can 36 Mafia. I said 36 Mafia. Or definitely UGK. UGK is gonna give you something and can give you something that you have to get into. See, that's the saying is you are from New York and you don't know the catalog if you're saying that.
I think
so. What is it? Low priority rap versus high priority rap?
I don't want to say any artist can or can't do anything. Although we can tell from a lot of folks how much sort of academic exposure you've had to be able to make the kind of records that some of the really heavier, more thoughtful people like Chuck D or whatever, Kendrick, have made. But I understand there's going to be certain records that make sense in a club, that make sense in a car, that make sense, in a Harvard classroom or whatever, that makes sense when you want to fucking intellectually break some shit down, that makes sense when you want to get stoned and fucking chill out and not think about anything, that, or when you want to think deeply about your identity or whatever, or you want to, feel tough. Different records are going to function different ways. And not everything's going to function properly in every venue.
And can we also identify there's a difference between music that inspires deep thought versus music that was made for thinking? Like there's certain artists that know they are speaking in riddles on purpose with the intent of giving you Easter eggs and doing all these different things. And there are artists who inspire deep thought, but they create sonics that give entertainment for whatever level of understanding you may have or comprehension that you may have. I think there's a big difference between that too, because they clump the same way that we may clump the music they're talking about in the same category, even though it's very diverse. I think they do the same thing with music that is lyrical or whatever you want to, however they would call it.
Yeah.
I saw this.
I feel like yeah. I just feel like that
comedian.
separation is almost ridiculous. Now, the more I think about it, it's like I could listen to a 21 Savage verse and pull out fucking literary rhetorical devices the same way I could pull it out of someone else. Someone might be better at certain ones or some things, but it's still using technique, skill sets, and your fucking brain to make songs.
I don't know, Lil Jon. It's great in a club. If you want to analyze this shit, there's
he doesn't have a
Africanisms
freaking
there.
verse on that shit, and he ain't even a rapper.
Oh, now Lil Jon's not a rapper? Wow.
Not really.
Doja Cat's a rapper, but Lil Jon's not a rapper? Wow.
You just said, yeah, he has the core. Yeah, it's fucking Usher's record, and then he has a little freaking hype up part.
Who's the rapper on the record though?
Ludacris.
What do you think Lil Jon is?
Ludacris, thank you. Ludacris is a rapper on the record. I don't think Lil Jon would come out here and say he's a rapper, bro. He's a great producer and songwriter.
Is he not an MC, a master of ceremony?
He might.
The point was not Lil Jon. The point was the record fucking rocks in one context, and not necessarily. It's not a deep record. There's a lot of records that aren't deep.
So is Flavor Flav not a rapper?
I saw this comedian. This is different. I saw this comedian where he was like, "I'm not against slavery, I'm against us being enslaved. So they said they were bringing back slavery, but because of past history, obviously African Americans will be exempt. And he'd be like, "Well, let's hear the details. What else is in the plan? Let's hear the man out.
Let's hear the details.
Is crazy.
That's hilarious. They about to do that with this AI. But speaking of all which, moving on to my guy. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna preempt this. This is a story, or this section is about Pharrell, and there is no part of the multiverse where I'm ever going to disrespect or say nothing negative about Pharrell. But this shit was kind of on some bullshit. This is my nigga though. He's gonna have to do something awful for me to not fuck with him. But let's listen to what P said.
As we look at what's going on, the current political climate, I'm just saying I don't want to turn anybody off, but I hate politics. Like, despise them. It's a magic trick that it's not real. I don't believe in either side, because I think when you pick a side, you are only, you are inadvertently supporting division. Yeah, it's not a popular point of view, but I just gotta say, when I think about it, the wells are drying up, and okay, now the diversity's off the table, now equity's off the table, now inclusion's off the table. So that makes me ask myself, okay, so how do we survive? Well, are there black people here tonight? Yeah. And in your heart, do you think for what it is that you do and who you are, do you think you're the best? Okay, so do you want the job because you're black or because you're the best? Oh, do you want someone to support your startup because you're black or because you're the best? Right, so I think now for me it's about us having the best ambition. That's the reason why you should support these businesses. Yes, they happen to be black and brown, but it should be based on the thesis that we're the best, not because we are a total shade of a skin color. That's a point of view that I have now that I'm resting on, and if diversity.
Oh no.
That is. I'm gonna let y'all do y'all thing, and then
I'll tell you this.
I'll
tell you this. He might have secured clips of Grammy in February. You might have secured a Grammy real quick. He might have secured a Grammy. If you ask me, maybe that's what had to be done. That rap album of the year coming home to the clips, baby. Hey, that might have did it right there. Sometimes you got to make sacrifices, baby.
Sometimes you got to make sacrifices.
What the hell was that?
That's just not the way you say that. But I'm gonna go with where I know where he was going with it. But I want y'all to just respond.
It's crazy because when I was listening to it, I thought he was gonna go a different direction. Tori, I'm gonna give it to you because I know you're gonna cook on this. Let me just say one little thing. When I first saw it, I was like, okay. I thought he's basically gonna say, no matter what side you pick, like they're all part of the same gang, right? They're not really for the people. I thought maybe that was a direction. I was like, maybe he's going for that. And then he completely said, nah. I ain't even going there no more. And it kept getting worse. Then he went to DEI. You know what all these stories have in common? People with an inability, for whatever reason, to read the room or the temperature of our people. Rory couldn't read the temperature in that Spaces room. BigXthaPlug may have very pure intent. He's not reading where things are at culturally right now. Right? The rapper or the podcast talking about the rappers and how nobody want to hear that smart shit. Are you seeing what's going on with black folks in this country right now? There's certain things you just can't get off in 2025 because you sound out of touch. That's all I gotta say.
I hate to hear people say that they're not involved in the political system because they're all a mess. When you remove yourself entirely from the whole system, you are allowing other people to make your political choices for you because somebody is going to be choosing the direction we're going. If it's not you, somebody is choosing for you. But the bigger thing is where we went with this sort of ridiculous, do you want to be chosen for the job because you're the best or because you're black? As if we were getting hired simply because we were black. It's so offensive and so like such a deep misunderstanding of the whole situation. The whole thing with DEI and affirmative action wasn't putting people in jobs just because they're black. It was helping white people get past their biases. It was about making the selectors make sure that they were selecting people for admission in colleges and to get into jobs, to get promotions, people who are outside of their normal white realm. It's not because black people are lesser in need a helping hand and are only getting jobs because they're black. What? That's not happening. Where is that happening? Oh God.
Isn't it weird how that has an overlap with the last thing you said, Tori, in the last story about you say one thing and don't realize you telling on yourself on the other thing in terms of what your inner views may be, or even your inner biases that may exist. Because then we got to ask another follow-up question. So what you really think about? What you really think of us? what you really think? What are you really defending at this point right now? You think it's charity? You think that this program is charity?
So you think that eliminating DEI will be better for us because now white people will what? Will think we deserve the job? Now they'll think that? They didn't think that before, but now suddenly they'll think that? Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Green. You've been over there. Get your political message off. Go ahead. Get your politically correct message
no.
off.
It's like you guys are just completely right in the fact that it's like the way this was all said and what it implies is completely bogus. I think at this panel, it's about black entrepreneurs. So he's at a panel where like you're thinking black already, right? So blackness is what the panel is. And I think it's like, hey, this DEI shit has been removed away from us. We don't have this avenue anymore. And then speaking into people to be the best version of themselves is one thing, but using it in a political lens like that and during this time makes no fucking sense. And if you're not into politics, you should not evoke politics. That's the only thing I have to say about people like this. Just say, hey guys, let's be the best we can. If you really want to say that you want to be the best you can, you don't want to invoke political messages and things that don't really have to do with your message if that's not your message. Second thing is he started a nonprofit for Black and Latinx businesses in 2020 and it's still going on. It's still a thing. This is a person that includes Black people in everything he does and thinks Black first in most of his work, right? But you have to say that he's also unconfrontational. Like he's not confronting colonialism while he's working in Paris for a company that gives a fuck about Black people or anybody else. He's not rocking the boat in any way, and that's always been kind of his position. I just think this is horribly spoken. It makes no sense to say it in such a way because it makes you seem apolitical to the sense of not moving for the betterment of the people that you are actually representing when you say certain things. But I could understand that when you look at division within your own community, division at the top and bottom, you could say, hey, we got to kind of come together and try to succeed as one, as being the best, as being strong and unifying in this such way. And a lot of people do, especially when they get rich. That's how they're speaking that rich language. Like, hey, nigga, we the rich niggas, let's talk about these rich niggas because these broke niggas ain't gonna get it. That's how a lot of rich niggas think. They
like
get black as shit for rich Black niggas.
I also don't like the assumption that the brands, especially speaking to the target brands, the target Black-owned brands that show up, I don't like the other sort of underlying tone of those are not the best Black businesses that exist in their fields. When I think about how Target was divided when they had hair care products and you had the beard products by Black-owned businesses, these were the best in their field, and they just so happen to be Black owned. They already made names for themselves, which made it a profitable conversation to have with Target, that they chose them for a reason, right? So I'm saying, I think that there's also sort of a subtly implying that these are just any brands popping up, and just because they're Black is why they're in that room, and it's not the truth.
Yeah, I mean that the whole DEI shit and what happened in 2020, how everything over that all that always, once it gets to the mainstream, it always gets either misconstrued by the populace or raped by the powers that be, right? Because who benefited the more from DEI? It wasn't Black people. So it's like all that stuff gets fucked up. So if you're looking at the political landscape, what do you have to say?
We did benefit a lot, and you do see already a huge drop in Black college admissions already from the slashing of affirmative action and DEI that we've already seen. It's kind of scary to see a Black person in leadership talk like that. He's in charge. He's available to oversee hiring of significant positions in the company, under him, around him. And he's surely not thinking nothing in that presentation made me think he's thinking in a pro-Black or even political way, which is not what I imagine that Virgil would have been different. I imagine Virgil would not talk like that and would not say those things. And so you've replaced effectively somebody who was pro-Black in action with somebody who's not
pro-Black in action. I don't know. I wouldn't say that about P like that. I wouldn't say that at all. I think that's crazy.
No, I think Virgil Abloh was pro-Black in action.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that to say that P is not pro-Black in action, I wouldn't say that. If you're going to say that Virgil is and P and Pharrell isn't, I don't think that makes sense when they've literally crossed through the same pathways. That doesn't make sense.
Isn't that why this is so surprising to hear him say that? Because he has been so on point about these kind of viewpoints and showing his action with, like you said, the program he started in 2020. He's shown it with his action many times.
Yeah. I mean, you're working for Louis Vuitton and you're bringing on black people on. At one point, working for Louis Vuitton, it's like, how Black can you be at Louis Vuitton? Like, so if Virgil's pro-Black, you know what I'm saying? How Black are you at Louis Vuitton? That's a real statement. You can't be too pro-Black over there. But he's empowering people and putting people in place, I know that for sure.
I did feel a Blackness from the way Virgil approached the job, the things that he did, the things that he made, the way that he made it, the whole, there was a sort of luxury streetwear aspect to his whole vibe there, his collection there. That I
think
felt
it's the time period too, though. Culturally, we're in a different space where it's like, first of all, that's what Virgil did too. Like Virgil was that. Like, I am a designer. And then that's where he comes from. Whereas Pharrell comes from music, going into space, multi-hyphenate, has the skill sets and has his taste level. So there are two different takes on it. But we're also talking about where streetwear and luxury were converging is when Virgil was over there. That's the height of it. Now we're in this remnants of it where people don't even know what the fuck is going on and what's hip hop and what's not hip hop anymore, to the point where things need a reset. Because I love that he got over there and love Virgil go over there, but I hate that we put so much emphasis on Louis Vuitton as a culture. It's like, fuck that shit. Where the fuck is Rocawear at? Where's the shit that we grew up with that really, I'm wearing his actual brand, Pharrell's actual brand, not the LV shit, because I think that's more important. And so, I'm gonna say that.
I mean,
whatever is pro-Black.
It's Vuitton and Rocawear are not really synonymous. I mean, it's entirely different.
That's the problem. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the problem.
No. It's not just a matter of perception. Rocawear is making streetwear for young men, Louis Vuitton is presenting an entire vision of lifestyle for cradle to grave. You could do your entire life Louis Vuitton, from luggage to clothes to your car or whatever. Rockwear does not aspire to that.
Rockwear is done. It's not even a thing anymore. So I'm talking about that we gave luxury clothing and luxury items all of our sauce. That's what I'm saying. Hip hop gave it all of our sauce, and now people equate the sauce to fucking shit that did not have it, that was losing that appeal of the youth and the new generation, and now it just reinvigorated these staples or whatever. That's all I'm trying to say. It's like we can love Louis Vuitton all we want, but why? Why do we? I'm just asking the question, why do we do that, and why do we lose ourselves?
Hip hop's for sale. You didn't hear? It's a going out of business sale. And it feels like many different levels of success stories in this genre are finding ways to sell them off in their own unique ways. I can think off my hand about 5 different people right now who have made moves in the last 2 years that were head scratching about why would you do that? Selling verses sounds like one of those moves. After that cultural phenomenon,
they got it back.
I mean, the fact that it was in your mind to sell it off to begin with shows me that was a lick. Like it's disappointing. It's disappointing because I feel like this has been the most revealing year of folks that I myself as a hip hop fan thought that I understood these individuals and where some of their political points may stand, where their viewpoints of Black folks may stand. And they've contradicted every single assumption that I might have had before it.
You mean like Drake?
No, that never had any. I never had any. Like Uncle Snoop. Snoop is one of them. Snoop is one of those. Snoop is one of those where I was like when he was performing at the Trump event, and in some of the things that he was saying, with the way that the tailor-made situation played out, and it's just like it. There was things that we covered in that point in time where I was just like, why is this? Do they not understand what's going on this side of things?
Well, they're capitalists. It's about money and self-preservation. That's why Timbaland's doing what he's doing. If you look at the landscape and you've been in the music industry for this long and you've been famous for this long and you have this access and your access keeps growing. I used to do this with Bape and I changed culture as Pharrell. I go to Louis Vuitton. Kanye's, I have all this, I changed culture, all that. I make Yeezy. It keeps going. You keep wanting to be bigger and hit new levels. I'm not mad at you trying to have someone of our face a part of the establishment. I just mad that it's really cutting off the legs at the bottom after you're getting to the top. And that's the actual issue. It seems like you're cutting off you're shutting the door for everybody else to come through. That's what's happening.
You're not only cutting off and shutting the door, but when you inevitably fall because some people don't give a shit about you, you're gonna land on the very people that are probably gonna give you a second, third chance, like they gave Kanye. Like that's the part I have a problem with, is that on your way to rise, people are pushing. Hey, come on, we support you. Look at you in these rooms. We need more people like you in these rooms. So
Yeah.
what do we mean when we say more people like us? And do they even see us in that conversation? And then when they get up there and start talking this super capitalist type of shit, you're like, "What? Who are you?"
Well, everybody.
Well, no, I was gonna say watching Kanye on Drink Champs when he was like, "I just did that backpack shit to get on," pretty much.
That was crazy.
I know he has his situations going on, but I'm like, how far removed is that from a lot of people's reality who made a name using this shit like a lick, and then their actions show it later in life how much they don't value this culture, how much they value bread over that culture.
They told us though.
Some of them did.
These niggas, Jay-Z told us. He told it after he got all that bread. He's like, yeah, money ain't that crazy, but legacy.
I'm with Adrenal Flux. He said bigger just means more white fans. Call it out. I'm not hip hop. I'm more like white centered. You say that shit, BigXthaPlug. I think people will respect it more.
Yeah, but yeah, everybody. That's the truth. First of all, everybody can't get rich. Everybody ain't gonna get rich under the system. And if you're looking at the people on the top, thinking you can be the person on the top, that's how we push those people on the top. Because you're thinking that I'm pushing you up, and you about to pick me up, and you still holding this nigga up your whole life. You just like this. And that's what Billie Eilish is over here talking shit about this nigga Elon Musk.
He said pause on you.
Pause.
What did you pause him on?
He said too much. I can't even remember what he said. He said too much. He said we be pushing people up, pushing them. He just kept saying more stuff, and it was just flag on the play. Where my flag at? Flag on the play.
This nigga.
Flag on the play.
He's just pause on a vibe, not an actual statement, just a vibe of like you keep saying pushing.
He didn't like the vibe of the conversation.
You said push 3 times, nigga. Flag on the play.
You can't say the word push.
Pushing them up.
Pushing
them up. Pushing them up.
Wow.
Pushing them up. Hey man,
this nigga.
Flag on the play.
Officer does not want me to be
that's
here.
a false flag.
No, it's not. You was over there grabbing slang, and you know it.
False flag. Hold on, I'm looking at. I think is there anything else we got to talk about? That might be it.
And that's the last one.
You got any super chats?
I don't think we got any damn super chats. They was just chatting their ass off, not doing no supers. They was just doing that. All right, y'all. We gonna see you later.
Just want great music, man.
I'm about to go to the Louis Vuitton.
It's been a minute
right
since
now.
we had a great album come out, man. I need
Well,
a
first
great
of all,
album.
actually,
I
before
need
we
somebody to
leave,
release a great album.
Wale dropped. First of all, y'all should go listen it, but y'all some haters. That shit is shit's cool.
It's all right.
Your boy.
Right.
What's it called? Not your boys. Your boys. Oh my God.
Push through. You got
it out, nigga.
I forgot. My whole shit's gone now. On the Wale hate. He said push through, nigga. Definitely support your logo.
Push through and spit it out. It's crazy.
Dropping. De La Soul's dropping.
Yeah, that came out kind of funky. That came out kind of nasty. Who are you trying to push out?
Who the fuck are you talking about right now?
Who are you trying to push out? Who are you thinking of?
What do you mean? Who was I thinking about?
You said Wale, and
De La Soul.
Oh, when's the album out?
No, it's not out yet. But Danny Brown's album came out.
Wait, when?
People didn't check that out. Danny Brown.
How was the Danny Brown one? I haven't listened to it. Somebody told me that it's more EDM.
It is a little way more electronic. There's a dude called Banks too that I think people need to check out too. That's new shit.
My favorite. Who? A dude called what?
Carl Banks. With a K though.
Isn't he with TDE?
Dude called Banks.
Is he? I don't know if he's with TDE. I literally just found him the other day. I'm one of those odd people who actually look for music still. So I just be searching.
Wow.
Well, she look for the music, but she don't know what label you're on. All right, say less.
Yeah, I just found it. I'll look for the label.
Flag on the play. Flag on the play.
Wait, I'm supposed to know the label, nigga? You corporate ass nigga?
No, you just sat here and gave us a passive lecture. You gave us a passive lecture talking about something. I'm one of the people that actually do all my homework. I'm all in the videos.
Yeah, I'm in the videos.
I do all my homework.
Check out the Reezy shit.
Come
you know what I'm saying? Mars.
You don't want the producer all in the video. Come to death row.
I just want y'all to know I'm bigger than this podcast shit. Like I don't want to be known as just a podcaster. Like I'm bigger than this podcast shit.
Yeah.
I just want y'all to know that. Like
I'm bigger than this shit. I'm bigger than this fucking YouTube shit. You feel me, my nigga?
The white folks is calling my boy. Like, so this is cool and all, and I appreciate y'all having me as a guest, but like I'm really bigger than that shit. You feel me?
All right, y'all. We out.